Baltimore Ravens season for the 2022 campaign comes to a heartbreaking end as they fall to the divisional foes and two-time AFC North champion Cincinnati Bengals by a score of 24-17. But year after year, the Ravens once again beat themselves. It's the Plays On Podcast, the official Baltimore Ravens post-game show. We're up late, bringing in MLK Day. Only place giving you sports how you want when you need it. Plays On Podcast, official Baltimore Ravens post-game show, last one of 2022, coming to you live right after this. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell, and of course vote on our poll as well. Only place giving you sports how you want when you need it. Coming to you live right after this. Flex Zone Podcast, only place giving you sports how you want it. Big Rod.
Need it.
We're here. It's early or late, depending on where you are. Official Baltimore Ravens post-game show. The dynamic duo back again. Rod is home safe and sound. He's ready to break it all down. How you feeling?
Feeling good, man. I'm feeling pretty good, bro. Even though this is a playoff loss, it is what it is. So I'm feeling good.
You're not running hot tonight?
No.
Kind of.
Nope. Not even running hot. I told you on Monday, I didn't expect this team to win. I expected it to be a close game. I expected them to fight, to give it the good old, 1-2, and they did it. And I expected them to do something stupid. They did that as well. And I expected them to lose. And that's exactly what they did. So, no, I'm not mad. I'm not upset. This has been, this has been the whole season. So, from the Miami game on, this is exactly what this team has been. So, no, I'm not mad at all.
Just seems like no matter who's on this team, whether Lamar Jackson plays or Lamar Jackson doesn't play, key guys are hurt, key guys are playing, the personnel doesn't matter. Seems like the same type of, theme and story is told where this team has a chance to win the game and probably should have won, would have, could have, should have. If ifs or fifths, we'd all be drunk. And this team yet again gives away. As you said, it was a theme all season. It's been a theme probably the last 4 or 5 seasons since Lamar Jackson has taken over. They lose 24-17, had a chance to take the lead and kind of snowball from there.
Yeah, man. They was playing good too. They was playing pretty well. Snoop, he had an early turnover, threw the ball in the coverage. He shouldn't have done that. But after that, he played pretty well, made some people look pretty good. Sammy Watkins had a pretty good catch. DeMarcus Robinson giving him the preseason, the little shuffle for the touchdown.
A double move, right?
The double move, the preseason double move. That's on our shorts list. If you go back and check it out, I made sure I clipped that. So you check that out from the preseason. He did the same move that he did to Eli Apple. So
right,
I mean,
think about that. Oh.
Yeah, he did exactly. That was the preseason move. And then J.K. was running it up and down the field. Gus got his carries. They was rocking and rolling, baby. I mean, they was doing what they were supposed to do. Which stuff that I wish they would have done the whole season, but that's neither here nor there. But they was giving a great effort. And I expected that from a Harbaugh team. They don't never let me down as far as effort. They rarely get blown out by anybody. So I expected that to be, what it was. But it's just everything else in between, baby. I mean, Greg Roman always got to show off at some point at some time, calling the stupidest plays at the wrong time. And it cost this team today. It cost them yet again in the red zone. And I mean, why are you quarterback sneaking the ball when you're like 3 or 4 yards away? It just makes no sense. when at the end of the game, while you're trying to get a touchdown, why are we calling draw plays? And a mismanagement of the timeouts again. Like, why are you, making sure that the clock goes all the way down to like 20 seconds and you got 2 timeouts? I don't get it. I don't understand. And then the penalties, that added up as well. It didn't help us. And we're back to square one, where you got to throw in the end zone, and the ball goes right to James Prochet, and he can't even catch the ball. The antithesis of the season itself. So yeah, this type of stuff just doesn't bother me anymore. This is what we are. This is what we do. And then you know what? I made something on Facebook that pissed a lot of people off. I said that I'm pretty sure that Lamar Jackson is at home laughing. And I'm pretty sure he is laughing, because this entire week has been a disgrace as far as the way he's been handled, the way he's been treated. And I don't like any of it. So, if he is at home laughing, laugh it up, Lamar. You're a free agent right now, brother. You deserve better than this organization. I've said time and time again, Greg Roman needs to go. And if he comes back next season, oh my God, oh Lord, it's gonna be it's gonna be terrible, because he sucks in the pass game. But we know that already as Ravens fans. We've seen it all up and down. Oh, and you know what? Since Brian is on here, he gave me some good information that I just learned like 2 minutes ago. Let me bring it up real quick.
Shout out to Brian, by the way. Thank you, brother, for your support all season.
He told me that Marlon Humphrey backed Lamar Jackson, saying he hopes Ravens extend him. Humphrey said Jackson simply wasn't healthy enough to play, pointing out that he's been limping around the building. So that's one thing from our great cornerback, backing Lamar Jackson, which is great. I'm glad he did that. Shout out to him. I think he said something about J.K. Dobbins as well, not being happy that he didn't get enough carries, and that he just wasn't, he wasn't happy about that Snoop play that they went back for a touchdown. But I'm glad I'm glad that the teammates are backing Lamar Jackson, because the organization sure isn't. They don't give a damn about him. They don't care about him at all. I mean, now, granted, he did get hurt again, and it was pretty bad. They try to say it was he'll be out 1 to 3 weeks. Dr. Harbaugh at it again. Giving out
Misdiagnosis.
Misdiagnosis as always. And it just that just was the problem. But then the entire week we get the national media, the Stephen A. Smiths, the Shannon Sharps of the world, the Skip Baylesses, telling them that that the organization quit on him, so he quit on the organization, that type of thing. And it almost kind of feels that way. But I'm not mad at Lamar Jackson. Let me just say this: I'm not mad at him. I didn't want him to play at all. I didn't want him to mess his knee up. If he does have something wrong with his knee, I did not want him to see, get hit tonight and be like another RG3 thing. So I'm so glad that he didn't play. And hopefully we'll see what happens in the offseason. We don't know. But if you've been listening to Jason and Ken on the 105.7 The Fan, they're adamant that Lamar Jackson is out of here. Adamant. But we don't know. Like I said before, we don't know. But let's get into some of these aspects of this game real quick.
Yeah, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you're new, vote on a poll, subscribe, super chat us. Tyler Huntley, I know he did have a couple goofy moments. The early interception where I thought this game could have got out of hand early, and I thought we might have seen Anthony Brown because there was speculation, and you did a short about them playing two quarterbacks. But I think this was his best game as a Raven. He threw for 200 plus? Yeah. He threw for 226, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick.
To Tyler Huntley? Yeah, Tyler Huntley. I mean, yeah, man, he came in, he showcased what he could do. like I said, I'm not mad at him. I'm not mad at Snoop at all. He tried, man. He did his best. Under pressure. He didn't play last week. They had Anthony Brown out there last week. He had a shoulder issue, but he gave it his best effort, man. And I think he got right. I think Greg Roman robbed him of his of a victory tonight, honestly. But I'm happy for Snoop, man. Snoop showcased what he could do for real for this team. Look, just imagine if he actually had some real wide receivers, bro. Imagine if Bateman was out there. Imagine if Duvernay was out there. Imagine if somebody of substance
If they
was
actually used Likely or Kohler was inactive tonight.
right. They could have used one of those two guys. Oliver had a great catch. I mean, it just sky's is the limit. If you watched any of the games so far in the playoffs, you didn't see great offenses from the Bills, the Dolphins, the Jaguars, the Chargers, all these 30 to 30 point games that was going on. And even the last game with the Vikings and the Giants, you seen a great effort offensively. It just strikes me all the time with this team, bro. They can't get it right in that side of the ball. Everything is on defense. I love the Roquan Smith signing. It's phenomenal. But it's just like, can we get somebody on that side of the ball that can go up there and catch a football other than Mark Andrews? We know Mark Andrews is going to come through. This is what he does. But they need more help. They need more help at the wide receiver position. They do. And it showed again tonight. Especially at that last play when you got Prochet wide open to catch the deflected ball and he just completely misses it. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. But Huntley did play a good game. I'm proud of him. I'm pretty sure the organization is proud of him. He didn't embarrass himself, and he made up for that early interception. So hats off to Snoop, man.
How do you feel about Ronnie Stanley? I think the offensive line got beat up a little bit too. I want to talk about that. Stanley was getting walked back a lot, and Tyler Linderbaum, bad snap, couple holding penalties. Moses went down with injury, came back. What do you think about the offensive line? Seemed like Huntley was kind of throwing under duress a lot too.
He was thrown under duress. The second half, they fell apart. So it seems like first half they played pretty well, the offensive line, but the second half was abysmal. Like you said, Moses went down for a little bit. Stanley was getting walked back, and Tyler Linderbaum almost had a completely devastating snap that could have really changed the game again for the Ravens. But Huntley made up for it with a phenomenal play. But yeah, the offensive line in the second half looked pretty terrible. This is supposed to be the bread and butter of this team, and yet again they letting us down. As far as the offensive line, it seems like every time we get into the playoffs, they just there's always a bad snap. If it wasn't a bad snap 2 years ago in Buffalo, when they got Lamar Jackson hurt, or I think in another playoff game, it was another bad snap from I forgot the dude's name. We went through so many centers, but it just seems like every time they get in this position, is a silly snap that happens in the game, and it usually cost us a turnover or points. But yeah, the offensive line didn't look good tonight, as in the second half, but they still had an opportunity to win. They really did, and they just do what the Ravens do, man.
Your thoughts on the running back?
The running backs, JK played a hell of a game. He wanted more carries. He's on IG right now, going crazy. He's mad. He's mad right now on IG. This is the latest post that he put up so far. If y'all can see it, the Olay snap. Oh wait, man, hold up, wrong one. Yeah, the bad snap from the 3-yard line from that stupid call by Greg Roman. But other than that, JK played his ass off, man. I'm not mad at JK. JK did his thing. I wish he would have had more carries. I wish they would have ran the ball a little bit more with him. Gus Edwards, was running hard as well. They had a couple of plays where they could have gave him some more carries as well too. They played well, man. I'm not mad at neither one of them brothers, man. It just sucks that that they had to lose like that. You still there, Byron?
JK only had 13 carries, by the way.
Only had 13. Oh, yeah. See, he could have had more. He could have had more than just 13. He could have had about 15 to 20. I think that's why he's pissed off right now. Is just because you got to give the ball to your best running back, especially when he's healthy. I mean, we've been clamoring for J.K. all season long, and we finally get a healthy version of him. And you give him only 13 carries. He should have at least had 20 carries or 25 carries. You got to go all out. This is the playoffs, and yeah, I can see why he's upset on IG right now. I can definitely see why.
Gus Edwards only 12 carries. Huntley 9 for 54. He had a 35-yarder. Dobbins 13 for 62 had a 15-yarder, and Gus Edwards had a 9-yard as his long as well, and Ricard none as well. Justice Hill had a couple carries. Also, he had 2 for 10, and also a couple screen passes as well.
Yeah, Justice Hill was playing pretty well, man. It was one of them plays where he was like, he just scrambled and he got like 10 yards and they got a first down. I was like, how did he get that? It was some miracle plays that was going on in that game, man. And Justice Hill was a part of them. So shout out to Justice Hill, man. Shout out to all the running backs on the team, man. I know they could have got more carries, but I mean, it's Greg Roman, man. I mean, what else could you say? It's Greg Roman. You must be really going through it right now, Byron.
On and off the field. But I want to talk about receiving core. Andrews 5 for 73, D-Rob 2 for 49, but the touchdown was 41 yards. Dobbins 4 for 43. He even used the running backs a little bit. Oliver 2 for 26. Edwards 1 for 13. Watkins 1 for 12. Hill 2 for 10. The lack of playmakers, man, it's really prevalent, especially when you get to the playoffs.
It's pretty sad, bro. We've been saying this all season long. They don't really have anybody. They have a fourth stringer playing the number one in DeMarcus Robinson. They brought somebody back from last year, Sammy Watkins, who got cut by the Green Bay Packers to be your number two because Duvernay went down. Bateman and Duvernay were both out for the season. And you had, got Mark Andrews, and you have I forgot who the third wide receiver was. They had Deshaun Jackson at one point, then they cut him. It was just like receiver by committee. Honestly, don't get me wrong. In this game, they played pretty well. But most of the season they were no shows, especially DeMarcus Robinson. Sometimes he played well, sometimes he didn't. We barely heard Sammy Watkins' name when he did play the last 3 games, and they cut Deshaun Jackson, like I said, the 36-year-old guy who they brought out off the street. So, yeah, this receiving core was okay today, but in overall sense, they're just rejects that deserve to be at home with me and you. But I mean, it is what it is, man. This is what the organization wanted. They wanted. They didn't give Lamar any real help as far as wide receivers are concerned, besides Bateman and maybe Duvernay.
What's up with this clock management, man? This is ridiculous, man. It's been going on for years, but this season it's just been ridiculous.
Yeah, it's the same stuff that we've been seeing, for the past 5 years, except this year it's been more relevant because it's either they're getting false starts or they're letting the clock go all the way down and they're not using their timeouts effectively. And they're just doing stupid stuff at the wrong times. It's like they don't have no sense of awareness. And it showed today, just like it did in the fourth quarter, when they needed a touchdown and they needed to preserve some time. And they let the clock just run all the way down to, like I said, 20 seconds with 2 timeouts left. When you was at the 2-minute mark and then you just let the clock just run and you call in draw plays. It makes no sense, man. This team just doesn't make any sense. It just doesn't.
Defensively, man, I can't say enough about this defense since Roquan Smith came into it. Kyle Hamilton looked every bit of the part today, 9 tackles. Roquan Smith only 8. Humphrey played well. Patrick Queen was 6. Bowser with a sack. Roderick Washington had half a sack. Owe even played a good game. He had a sack as well. Calais Campbell had a couple plays where he flashed. Justin Houston had a sack. I mean, the defense only gave up 17 points. The other 7 points was a turnover by the Ravens. I mean, what more can you ask from this defense, man? I know Chase did beat us up a little bit, as he had how many yards did Chase had? Chase had he had 9 for 84, but most of that was in the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, Chase was getting his catches early on. The defense played pretty well. You can't be mad at the defense. I mean, Kyle Hamilton had that one strip, and that was a huge play for the Ravens. Roquan almost had a good sack, but he missed it. In a couple plays, I think Marcus Peters had a bad penalty, but I think the ref shouldn't have threw the flag on that. I thought that was kind of silly, and they had a rough in the kicker as well.
Yeah, that
But
was a little goofy. That was a little
that was
goofy to me.
that was a little goofy, but they made up for it. All in all, they kept the team in the game. That's all you can really ask for is for your defense to keep you in the game. They didn't give it up today, and I'm thank God they didn't do that because that would have been awful. But they kept them in the game. They played very hard. Like I figured they was. They came out prepared. They were prepared to play the Bengals, and they was laying the woodshed, man. They was hitting. Joe Burrow got smacked a couple times, and the defense just did what they were supposed to do. And you can't be mad at that. You can't be upset. But hats off to them, man. Hats off to the Bengals. If I didn't say that earlier on, they was prepared as well. They knew our tendencies. They knew we was going to run the football a lot. They made sure that they capitalized off of our turnovers, off of our stupid plays, and all night long they kept on showing Macaulay Culkin and Joe Burrow and all his baby pictures and him looking fly with the
Like he
little
the second
sweater.
coming to Joe Montana, man.
He looks good, man. I'm not even gonna front, man. I'm a straight guy, but he looks good, bro. He does, man. He might be the new NFL darling, and that's a good thing, man. I mean, the NFL needs more darlings. Tom Brady is on his last leg. I'm pretty sure he'll be out of there pretty soon. So Joe Burrow's gonna be next up to get those primetime games because of the look, his swag. That they keep on saying he has a lot of swag, and he does. He does some swag to him. I mean, he brings a little umph to it. So hats off to the Bengals, man. The referees didn't get involved too much in this game. There wasn't too many silly penalties. They let the guys play, and the Ravens they had the game. They had it. They had the game. They had the momentum. But like a lot of games this year, they just couldn't seal the deal. So it is what it is.
Tough one. How do you feel special teams did? Hill had a couple returns. Tucker made all his kicks.
They did pretty good. I'm not mad at special teams. Um, they made it interesting. They didn't fumble the ball. They didn't miss any kicks, like you said. So they played pretty well.
Joe Burrow only threw for 209 yards, 23 of 32. Mixon 11 for 39. Chase 9 for 84. Hayden Hurst 4 for 45. Higgins 4 for 37. Boyd 3 for 26. Kept these guys in check. Remember 2 years ago, all that yak yardage and Joe Burrow throwing for over 1,000 yards. The defense, man, especially on the back end, man, I really think they did a good job.
They did a good job. I feel bad for them. I feel bad for guys like Calais Campbell, Justin Houston, Jason Pierre-Paul, the veterans on this team, Marcus Peters. I feel bad for those guys, man, because they played their asses off, man. And for this to be that last hurrah, it kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth, honestly. I mean, I know I say a lot of things about the defense giving up a lot of stuff, but sometimes, they did held it together. The addition of Roquan Smith made it a lot more, valuable, especially for Patrick Queen on the other side. And he played pretty well too. Kyle Hamilton started off very slowly during the regular season, and then he gradually kept getting better and better and better, and that's always a good sign. Chuck Clark played pretty well tonight. I mean, the guys out there, they just held it down. They really did. They really held it down tonight, and the offense, or the lack thereof, and when in key situations, gave a big letdown. So, like I said, I feel bad for this group. A lot of people will be gone during this off season. A lot of veterans. So we'll see what happens, man. But let me give a quick shout out to Oway too. He gets his name back tonight. Adafe Oway is his name. He deserves his name tonight. He definitely had that one good sack. I thought he was going to definitely not play pretty well tonight, but he showed up a little bit. He showed up a little bit. He could do a little bit of things. So hats off to Adafe Oway for getting it done. But yeah, this group was on its last leg, and it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So, but yeah, that's the season in a nutshell. That's the season in a nutshell. Wait for Byron to come back on. There we go. There's Byron.
Yeah, I'm back. The internet had cut out, but I wanna switch gears because we know the miscues, we know what happened. I want to ask about the offseason because technically the Ravens are in the offseason. Are you expecting any big news tomorrow? Greg Roman, what do they need to do to get over the hump? What happens with Lamar Jackson? I even have a poll question up as well. What does the Ravens need to do? Do they need to fire Greg Roman, trade for number one receiver, sign Lamar, add more to that defense? What do you think, Brash?
All right, this is what I think they need to do. They need to fire Greg Roman tomorrow. They need to start negotiations again with Lamar Jackson ASAP. They need to come to a deal with Lamar Jackson ASAP. And then after that, then they need to go. They need to go to what is it, the NFL Combine? Get prepare for that. Go look at all the people in underwear running. Doing their thing, running and jumping and whatever. They need to get prepared for that as well. Find the best wide receiver in the combine, draft that wide receiver, and go out there in free agency and go out there and get a number one wide receiver for Lamar Jackson, which you should do, and come back next year with a different coordinator that is more balanced, that has a good passing scheme. Keep the Greg Roman running scheme, but get a good passing scheme, and then come back next year healthy, ready to do it all over again. Positive attitudes. Everybody's happy. Lamar got his money, and everybody's going on 10. But what I think is really going to happen is I think that they'll franchise tag Lamar Jackson. They'll trade Lamar Jackson. They probably might go after like a Geno Smith or a Derek Carr for a cheaper price. They'll probably draft a quarterback, maybe in the first round or the second round, if they get a second round pick back. And then they'll restart all over again and probably be last in the division or fighting for last place because they're not going anywhere next year. That's what I think is going to happen if they don't come to an agreement with Lamar Jackson. Everything that's happened this year has been a travesty, honestly, with Lamar Jackson. Everything. They did everything wrong. They fired the wrong coordinator. They should never fired what's his name? Wink Martindale. They should never fired him. They should have fired Greg Roman last year. They didn't do it. He goes into this year, same issues, same problems. They get rid of Lamar Jackson's best friend, Marquise Brown. Had no business doing that. Bringing the center, Tyler Linderbaum, which is good. It's a good pick. So and there's no, but on top of that, you don't go out there in the draft and get another wide receiver. You go out there and you get a pass rusher who was hurt most of the year because he was hurt during the NFL, during his pro day. So you knew he wasn't going to be able to play until the last 3 or 4 games of the season this year. So that was kind of a waste. And on top of that, you just piss off Lamar Jackson with a poor offer, offering him 270, $133 million guaranteed, where everybody else that's underneath of him, like Deshaun Watson, is getting 231 all guaranteed. Kyler Murray getting about 189 or something like that, all guaranteed. Russell Wilson getting 161 guaranteed, and you offer Lamar Jackson $133 million guaranteed, and you expect him to take that deal? Are you serious? And then you wonder why he doesn't play this playoff game today because his knee is messed up. You want to put a brace on it, Michael Vick? Is that what you want to do? Put a brace on it so he can go out there like RG3 and get hurt? No, no, man, no, no, and it just kills me, man. The fan base here is ridiculous at times. Oh yeah, he needs to go out there. He needs to play. No, he does not need to go out there and he needs to play. He needs to get healthy, and he needs to go out there and he needs to get his money because it's ridiculous that it has to come down to this for the Ravens to understand his value. You need a guy like him. You need him. He's the reason you're in this position. You didn't give him any weapons besides his best friend, which you got rid of, and Rashad Bateman, who can't stay healthy either. Duvernay is the unknown still. Other than that, you don't. And Mark Andrews is Mark Andrews. That's great. But as far as weaponry and wide receivers, you gave him nothing. You've done nothing for him. He's made everything out of scratch with his legs, and you don't even compensate, for that. And on top of that, the Ravens got a lot of primetime games this year and last year and the year before that because of Lamar Jackson. So it's like you're getting your money's worth. You're getting your money back. Everybody's loving Lamar Jackson. Everybody loves number 8. He's a good guy. And for this whole week, for y'all to treat him like this, it's just it disgusted me as a fan, honestly. It really did. It really pissed me off. I was contemplating, like, should I really watch these? Should I even watch this playoff game? Because they don't. It seems like they don't give a damn. They don't care. It's like, oh, we're not even going to talk about it. We're going to move on from it. Yeah, we're gonna focus on the game. Oh yeah, what he said on Twitter. Yeah, it don't matter. And I get Harbaugh can't say certain things because of laws and stuff. I get that, but it's just the little things, man. The little things matter. The little things matter. If anything, what I want to hear from this organization is that we're going to get a deal done with Lamar. Come hell or high water, we're going to work it out. We're going to get a deal done. I don't want to hear, oh, we're going to try to get a deal done. No, get a deal done. The man is 26 years old. He's not super old. He's not really injury prone that much. And on top of that, you gave him nothing to work with. So we don't even know what he would look like with wide receivers. You got a third string quarterback that played the first game today, who had Hill and had Waddle out there, and he played like he was Tua because he had wide receivers to throw to. Lamar don't have no wide receivers like that to throw to, and he never did because you didn't put no effort into getting them guys like that. So yes, what's going to happen this offseason? In my heart, I think he's out of here, man. I seen it since training camp that he did not look happy with this team. He played it off. He smiled in front of the media. And he came to Morgan State with the kids. He did a lot of good things in the community. But deep down inside, he knew that this organization don't care. When he saw that $133 million, he probably smirked at it and was like, are you serious? I'm pretty sure he was really hurt by that. So I don't know, man. I think he's gone. I think it's over. And if I'm him, I'm telling them, like, look, we can negotiate a deal, but if you ain't gonna at least come close to what I want, Eric, do what you did with everybody else that's unhappy. Get me out of here. Hayden Hurst, Orlando Brown, my best friend. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I don't want to be here if y'all don't care, if y'all don't give a damn about me or building around me. Get me out of here. Somebody else will. Somebody else will pay for my services. Somebody else will give me that $231 million guaranteed. And they'll get all their money back through TV deals, through merchandise, through everything. It's not really a money thing, man. It really isn't. They're going to make money hand over fist. And if the rumors are true, Steve Bisciotti is going to sell this team in about 2 to 3 years. So he's going to make a lot more money anyway. Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But that's my thoughts, man. This is my thoughts of what's going to happen in the offseason. I think they're going to be real stupid. They're going to be real stubborn. They're going to be like, you know what, defense is still the way to go. Even in 2023, we can win on defense like we did tonight, like we almost did tonight. No, that's not the wave. Not at all. Kansas City showed you that's not the wave. The Buccaneers showed you that's not the wave. The Bills are going to show you that's not the wave. You need offensive players. And the Ravens don't want to, give them nobody to play with.
Just look at the teams in the playoffs. I mean, like you said, the Chargers, Jaguars, Bengals in your own division, even the Steelers with some of their receivers, the Browns with Deshaun Watson coming back. You look at the Chiefs, obviously, the Bills. I mean, what more? The Dolphins. Just think if Tua played today, they probably would have beat the Bills potentially.
They probably would have won. They
So
would have won.
it's going to be an interesting offseason. I think my first move that tomorrow they have to fire Greg Roman. If they don't do it,
He
I
should
don't
be
know if they will.
he should
I
be
think
fired
reset.
right now. He
I
should
think
be packing his bags as
yeah,
soon as they get off the plane. He's empty out his locker. He should never come back. Ever come back.
and they cannot hire somebody in house. They have to go get an innovative offensive play caller, maybe somebody from San Francisco under Kyle Shanahan, maybe a offensive coordinator from Georgia in college football, somebody with some innovative, somebody from Kansas City, somebody from I don't know Frank Wright, former Colts coach, possibly what he did with the Eagles. A few years back when they won the Super Bowl, they got to get somebody who can still run the ball. I don't want them to abandon that, but be able to
You
create
want
game passing offense.
you want a good balance is what you need. You don't need your quarterback running every single
There's
time
no
with the
reason we
football.
should see one slug, one double move a season, or two screen passes per season, or one jet sweep, and then we never see it for 6, 7 weeks.
Exactly.
Just
You should be seeing that to begin with. There's a lot of things that
mm,
are wrong that is wrong with this offense.
third
A
and
lot
one, Andrews in the backfield when you got Gus Edwards, or I don't know, man.
that was another play that I forgot about. Thank
I
you for
just thought about
reminding
it.
me.
Yes, just thought about
Yeah, but it's stuff like that. It's just it's the little things. It's always the little things. Greg Roman does some things right. Don't get me wrong. He calls some good plays at times. But it's when you need him to come through the most. He calls these ridiculous, stupid plays that cost you games. And it cost you games like today. And there's no need for it. It really isn't. And like I said, the lack of talent on this team is damning. It really is. I'm glad they showed up today and embarrassed themselves in front of millions of people. I'm glad they didn't do that on Sunday night. Thank God. But it's like, bro, you need more. You need more than just what you got. Going into the season, you know you needed more than just Rashad Bateman. You knew this already. And you still did nothing. You still didn't try to go out there and get anybody. The trade deadline, you could have got Robbie Anderson. You could have fought more to get DJ Moore. You could have fought to get somebody else. And you decided to just get Roquan. Roquan is a good addition. Don't get me wrong. I like Roquan. I hope he has a great career with the Ravens. But damn, help your quarterback out, man. Help Lamar Jackson out. So he don't have to use all of his energy running up and down the field, having to throw the ball, catch the ball, run the ball. Oh, I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous. It really is. And I'm sick of it. And I know he was too. I know he was sick of it as well. I
He
gotta
didn't.
carry
He
this
didn't even
team
show up.
again.
He didn't even show up today. He was at home.
He shouldn't have showed up. I wouldn't have showed up. I gotta carry this team too. Are you serious? Like, bro, come on, man. So yeah, I mean, all this Jackson stuff, bro. All this negativity by the fan base, saying he's a selfish guy and all this other stupid stuff. It's just dumb, man. It is. Because without him, we was doing nothing. I'm not. Now, you don't get me wrong. I love Joe Flacco. I love him to death. But after that Super Bowl run, after the 2014 season, when we had that nice little run in between, we did nothing in 15, 16, and 17. We did absolutely nothing. We went 8-8, 7-9, and 8-8. We did nothing. We were terrible. So when Lamar came along, man, I had my doubts at first, but he grew on me, man. And he kept winning, and he kept finding ways to win. He wasn't always the most accurate passer. Don't get me wrong, he's not the most accurate passer. Sometimes he throws bad passes at times, but the man knows how to win. He knows how to get it done without weapons. Without weapons. What more can you ask for from a quarterback? What else do you want? Don't you want to be in the playoffs every year, or at least fight to get to the playoffs every year? Do you know who's in our division right now? Deshaun Watson's in our division right now. We got the Joe Burrow's in our division, who we just played, and we got another kid, Kenny Pickett, who's looked like the next coming of something that's going to be in our division for years to come. So this is what we want to do. We want to give up on Lamar. This is what we want to do. Really? We want to start over again? It just makes me
Hey,
ill. I'm sorry, Byron. it just makes me so angry, man. This week has really pissed me off. It really did, as a Ravens fan, as a fan that loves this team. It pisses me off that we're going down this direction, that we got to do this again when we shouldn't even have to. It's a no-brainer. Just give him what he wants. Give him close to what he wants. I'm pretty sure he'll take it. Just show him that you care.
I think you're gonna be pissed off because I think Lamar is gonna get franchised. What happens after that? I don't know, but I'm more intrigued to see what they do with the offensive coordinator position because maybe them signing Roquan is a hope that they do sign Lamar long term, but I just don't think, like you said, they will come in long term because of the past couple of years of injury. Just wrong or right, I just think it's going to be interesting all season, to say the least. And we'll be here to cover it each step of the way. If any news breaks tomorrow or Tuesday, we'll have videos on the channel, and we'll be here all off season for the Ravens as they head into the 2023 off season with a lot of questions, more questions than answers. Guys like Calais Campbell, you mentioned Raj, Marcus Peters, they probably are gone. Do they pick up Patrick Queen's fifth-year option, which should be a no-brainer? What happens with J.K. Dobbins long term? Is he's going to?
Oh, speaking of J.K., I got more news on J.K. Here's a direct quote from him, from Jeff Zebra. I'm a guy. J.K. says this: I'm a guy who feels like if I'm on the field all the time, I can help this team win, and I wasn't. It's the playoffs. Why am I not out here? 12 carries. It's the playoffs.
And not only that, like I said, he was hurting them in the receiving game too. So it's intriguing. Like I said, Greg Roman called good plays until he gets inside the 20. Then it's like he forgets what got him there. And like I said, they're gonna have to figure something out. Like I said, they're gonna have to get a guy that can do something with this offense. And I honestly do not know. I think they need to trade that draft pick they have in the first round and try to get a receiver, if that's DeAndre Hopkins or whomever. Because I don't think that there's a guy in this draft like the Ravens need, or they would draft him because they don't develop drafting receivers well. And I don't. Do you want to go get DeAndre Hopkins? It's going to be who's the guy. Do they try to sign Odell Beckham? I don't know. What do they do?
My question is, what's the point if you're not keeping Lamar Jackson? What the hell is the point? If you're not keeping Lamar, I don't give a damn what you do. If you're not going to continue, if you're not going to keep number 8, the guy that runs this train, the guy that's gotten you to this position, like what would be the point of getting DeAndre Hopkins? He might as well stay with the Cardinals for all that. He might as well stay with the hurt guy who's going to probably miss the whole entire year next year. There's no point in getting anybody if you're not keeping Lamar Jackson. And that's my thing. That's my thing. You must if you're not keeping number 8, you might as well blow it all up. Blow it up. Blow it up. Start over again. I don't want my final thoughts is this. I don't want no retread. I don't want no Derek Carr. I don't want no Geno Smith. I don't want none of these guys. Just let their asses stay in free agency for all I care. If you're not keeping number 8, blow it up, start over again, lose most of your games next year. Pray to get a number 1 or number 2 or number 3 draft pick and hit from there. If you're stupid enough to let number 8 walk out the door because you want to be silly with your money, by all means, man, just tank the season next year and pray that you can get somebody coming out of college. Or on top of that, if you are going to trade him this year, try to get one of those guys that are coming out to this year, the Bryce Youngs or who else?
C.J. Stroud.
The C.J. Strouds of the world. Try to get one of those guys. But yeah, man, I don't know what they do this offseason, honestly. This will be the most watched offseason of all time for the Baltimore Ravens, guaranteed. We're pretty sure we have plenty of news coming down the line. A lot of news that we probably won't like. And it's going to be a lot of silly stuff, man. There's going to be a lot of goofiness going on, a lot of finger pointing, a lot of, it's been a lot of foolishness so far. A lot of foolishness so far. And we wasn't even in the offseason. So, I don't know, man. JK's going crazy right now. He might not be here next year. He might ask for a trade. And he's going to his last year. He might ask for a trade up out of here. He ain't getting the carries that he thinks he wants. Humphreys is not happy with the way that they're handling Lamar Jackson. I don't know, man. You might be seeing an implosion of epic proportions this off season, man. You got one side of the team that wants Lamar, another side that's upset like Sammy Watkins, like he has a nerve to talk about somebody. Jesus Christ, Sammy Watkins of all people. Um, but yeah, man, I'm just looking forward to the foolishness. I'm pretty sure it's going to be really goofy, man. And yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know where this team goes. Honestly, I don't know what their mindset is. All I know is what Steve Bisciotti told me last year, going on to this year. He ain't paying for a fully guaranteed contract for my quarterback. So
Nope.
if he continues to keep that mindset, well, you already know where we're going.
That's why I think it's going to be interesting. That's why I think the franchise tag happens because he ain't giving Lamar guaranteed. Lamar wants guaranteed. And maybe if Lamar, maybe they can get Lamar some weapons. Maybe they say, hey, we don't give you a fully guaranteed contract, but we use the money to get you some weapons. I don't know who those weapons are because I don't know who's a free agent, really, any big names. Last year, you had A.J. Brown, you had Tyreek Hill, you had a lot of big names out there. This year, outside of DeAndre Hopkins, I don't really know who else is going to want to get traded. It'll be interesting to see. That's all I can say. Maybe somebody emerges. Like I said, there are guys out there, but we'll have to see what happens. But I think first and foremost, they got to get that offensive coordinator situation figured out because Lamar isn't going to want to be here long term, even if they offer him the money, if the guy calling the plays is not helping him be successful. That's how
I agree, man. And I mean, we'll just see, man. We will just see, man. Um, I hope everybody enjoyed the playoff game today. I know we lost, but they fought hard, and I'm glad they did that. Like I said before, like I said, I just feel sorry for the veterans that was on this team that they thought they had a chance, like Calais Campbell. He might have played his last NFL game today.
99 sacks. Never got
99
that.
sacks. Didn't even get to 100 because of injury. Yeah, man, I just feel bad for those guys, man. I always feel bad for the guys that are in their last years here and they didn't win anything and they didn't really get to where they needed to get to, and they go out just like this, first round, and you thought going into the season, we would have been a little bit more prepared, a little bit more better of a team, but we wasted so many opportunities during the season, and people just got hurt at the wrong time. So it happens, man. It happens. But like I said, I'm not really looking forward to this off season. I think it's going to be a lot of stupidity. There's going to be a lot of goofiness, and the way that they handled this whole situation from jump has been stupid. So we'll see, though. Maybe I might be wrong. Hopefully, I am wrong. Hopefully, they come to their senses and actually, sign Lamar to a long-term deal, and they go out there and they get some wide receivers and another offensive coordinator, and we can run it back. We can compete, and it's the division because who the hell wants to be last? Do you want to be the Jets? Do you want to be the Lions? A
And
pass?
there are rumors that the Jets want to trade for Lamar.
That's what I heard too. They're willing to give the whole house for him, and it wouldn't surprise me if they did. It wouldn't shock me not one bit.
Please don't trade him to the Jets. That's all I'm gonna say.
I wouldn't hear the end of it. If that's the case, I would not hear the end of it.
Please.
I would be very sick to my stomach.
Have a headache just thinking about it. Just think.
Very sick. Very sick. I'm already sick right now.
Yes.
Just because how this is going down.
And
This
Wink
whole entire
Martindale,
season.
Wink Martindale's team is advancing in the playoffs as well. That's another
Yes,
thing.
he's still in there with a good defense because he's a good defensive coordinator. But we didn't think he was. We put the blame on him instead of putting it on Greg Roman, who was terrible last year as well. So
I don't know what's going to happen this offseason, but we will be here to cover it all. I do want to shout out everybody who watched us this season. All the videos, all the content, all the post-game shows, all the previews, all the live streams. Yeah, we got a lot of content coming. I got a lot of ideas of things that I do want to do this all season. And we'll see. Jeff Bob, what's going on, brother? I do want to see what happens tomorrow. Like I said, if they don't get rid of Roman by Tuesday. Jeff, go ahead, drop your idea in the comments. We're here. We're still talking, but we'll list the idea out. they don't fire Roman by Tuesday, I don't know if it happens, honestly. I'm still 50-50 if it happens because I don't know if the Ravens are going to pull the trigger. And if they do, who do they figure? Bears get 3 firsts from Jets. Jets get Lamar. Ravens get first overall pick. I don't even know if I want the first overall pick in this draft. I think the quarterbacks are okay, but are they better than Lamar Jackson? No.
Nope.
Just being honest. And it's a rookie, so you never know either. So, but we want to thank you guys, everybody who watched us this season. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell. Raj, let people know what we do on this channel and what's coming up.
Oh man, hold up! I got before I do that.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I got another text message from Brian. It says Orlando Brown made back-to-back Pro Bowls and won it out. Marquise Brown had 1,100 yards and won it out. Lamar still unextended. J.K. Dobbins is now angry enough to say it in the media. When will Steve Bisciotti get the effing hint? I don't think he'll ever get the hint because I don't think he's going to be here long term. So I don't think he really cares. So that's all the players that played with Lamar, by the way. A lot of them are gone. And I think J.K. and Lamar might be headed on that same pathway of getting us out of here. But,
Jeff, I like Bryce Young, but he's a smaller frame guy. Who's to say he doesn't become fragile and get hurt playing behind this offensive line? We ain't got no weapons. So he has better weapons at Alabama and they're in college still.
So. Yeah, but my like I said, my final thoughts is this, man. I'm not looking forward to this offseason. I'm very disturbed by this team going forward. I'm just glad that they play hard for Harbaugh. I'm glad they don't quit. I'm so glad they don't do that. But I just don't know where they're going. I thought I knew what they was going to do, but they continue to surprise me, man. They surprise me, and not in a good way. So. I mean, we shall see, man, what happens. But like I said before, and I'll say it again throughout the whole 2022 to 2023 season, it's been extremely frustrating as a fan. Extremely frustrating. And today was no exception. Same old. So we shall see what goes forward with this team and his organization and what happens in the draft and see if they actually do trade Lamar or whatever. But it's just not good, man. Not at all. It's not at all good. So that's my final thought.
If anything breaks tomorrow, I will try to do a video on it. We'll see what happens when Harbaugh does his end of the year press conference. That'll probably be in the next few days. We'll see what happens when because Lamar will have to speak at some point to the media. I think Lamar might need surgery, and that's what I'm scared of too. Because if it's a grade 3 that's almost like an ACL. That could be 6 to 9 months. Who knows? He could need surgery. So that could be, if the Ravens do want to trade him, they wouldn't be able to get everything back they deserve, probably. Because he's going to probably be banged up.
Well, I heard from well, to be honest with you, I heard from another source that the injury wasn't that bad. Yeah. But I don't know. I don't know what his knee is. So I can't say that for sure. I haven't seen his knee. I haven't worked on his knee. I'm not Lamar Jackson himself. If he says it's a grade 2 or 3, I'm going to believe him.
Agreed. Especially if he's going to take to Twitter, because I think he was tired of hearing all the noise. And I don't even think John Harbaugh and the organization knew he was about to tweet out the injury information because they knew for over a month and haven't said anything. He's week to week, like you said, misdiagnosis. They got to stop with that too. This organization has to stop with the injury hoopla and BS because, week to week, when you know a guy who partially towards, PCL, don't just say, hey, we don't have any diagnosis right now. He's out indefinitely. Don't give fans false hope.
Exactly, because he did that in 2015 with Bashard Perryman, and he never played that whole entire season. He just said he'll be back, and he never was back. And he's done it a couple other times with a couple other players as well. And here's another factor, man. He did it with Orlando. No, he did it with Ronnie Stanley last year when he rushed him back prematurely, and he ended his season extremely early because he shouldn't have came back as early as he did. Another thing with J.K. Dobbins earlier this year, they rushed him back, and then he ended up missing most of the season because he wasn't ready. It's just like you rush these players back, and you expect them to play at the level that that they can play at. and then they end up getting hurt worse than they were before. So it's like you just can't do that, and you should know better by now. But you have to continue to keep doing it, which is why a lot of the times a lot of the players are hurt a lot, like Derek Wolf, who actually came out and said that our training staff was not very good. So that's just another thing to add it on to it. And I'm glad you brought it up because I almost forgot about that. But yeah, a lot of players so far in this organization has been hurt, and they be rushed back, and then they're never really the same, or it takes them like a year or two to get back to what they was. But yeah, this like I said, this is just the tip of the iceberg, man. Just the tip of the iceberg with the Ravens.
Contagious. If I were Lamar, I would weigh my options, but I would try to get the long term deal. If they don't want to get me a long term deal, I'll take my 43 or whatever million, and I'll say, okay, can you at least surround me with some talents? I bet on myself this season. I'll bet on myself next year on the 1 year deal, and get me the right piece around me. Let's see what we can do. Because it's going to get ugly before something comes to a head. I think it's going to be interesting to say the least. I probably, Lord, I don't know. I don't know what's about to happen. Like I said, first and foremost, they got to get the offensive coordinator situation straightened out. But um, yeah, man, we appreciate all the support this season on the videos, previews, post game shows, breaking news, and everything in between. Tomorrow we will be live for the Flex Zone podcast. New episode tomorrow at 10. We celebrate Martin Luther King Day, talking Ravens, recapping the wild card weekend as well. And of course, we are continuing to grow, continuing to do things on the channel and let the people know what they need to do if they're watching right now.
Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Like Byron said, we'll be on tomorrow. We have the other crew talk about the playoffs in general. We'll recap a lot of the games that happened this weekend. We'll also talk about this situation as well, yet again. So stay tuned. Hopefully, we get some news of somebody getting fired tomorrow, but that's neither here nor there. So, like I said, stay tuned. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Let us know what you think. Hit that comment section up, and just give us some ideas, man, of what you think we can do a little bit better, and what you would like to hear as well.
Yeah, let us know what you want to hear, see for the off season. Depending on what happens this week with the Ravens news wise, I'll try to do a Ravens offseason checklist. I'll try to maybe throw some candidates out there who could be the next offensive coordinator if they do decide to fire Greg Roman. What happens with Lamar, we'll break all that down. Justin, Brian, Sportnet in the chat. Shout out to D. Justin, Phillips, we see you. Contagious, Jeff, everybody, all the love throughout the season. We appreciate you guys. Only place Rise Give Me Sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let us know what you want to see in the offseason. And subscribe. Vote if you haven't already. We'll be live tomorrow, 10 p.m., talking Wildcard Weekend, talking Ravens and all the news that comes out. And if anything does break tomorrow, I'll be tuned in, listening to the social media and to the group chats and 1057 and trying to hear what happens. And if there's news, we'll do a video and break it for you as well. Big Raj, our social media producer, God's favorite host, BKD, signing out, y'all. Thank you, guys. See you in a few hours. We're going to bed. Have a good night, y'all. Peace.
Peace.